Hi everybody, welcome back to the Ultimate Transformation Plan. Laura here. For those of you that don't know me, I lost 125 pounds in menopause and naturally. So no weight loss surgery or anything like that. And I'm here to help you guys transform from mind, body, and soul. And the first 7 sections is handling the mind part and really trying to dive deep into the 7 topics that I talked about. If you guys are unsure what I'm saying, just go back to the playlist on the weight loss transformation and you'll see my before and afters. You'll see all kinds of stuff there and be able to catch up on this whole thing. But we're getting into a little bit more of a fun topic today. Whew, after yesterday was kind of heavy and I needed it. So let's talk about entitlement and entitlement eating, let's just say that, and what we do to ourselves and how we can rethink things. So stay tuned for that. I guess it's natural to just want to do what we want to do when we want to do it. I mean, hey, we're on this earth, we want to have it, we want to live it up. But the consequences of all of that is also taken away from your happiness. So if your weight is making you unhappy, then we have to deal with this whole entitlement eating thing. And I'll just reflect on my own self. It bothered me that other people could just eat whatever they wanted and never gain weight. You know those people. They just, jam up food. I can't even eat 2 bites of anything and put on 10 pounds. It's just metabolism. It's, whatever is going on in our system. We could have fatty liver. We could have gut issues. We could have all kinds of stuff going on. And so what we're going to try to do is talk about that a little more. And I want you to think about times, or if you do think about things that make you feel like you lean in that direction, and I'll give you some steps on how you can work around it. Let's just talk about some of the funny, cute little things. Well, not cute. Some of them are really detrimental, but some of them are kind of funny that we say to ourselves, and tell me if any of this resonates. Like, oh my God, I just worked out so hard. I deserve a treat. You know that one. Or, they're eating that, I should be able to eat that too. Or it's been a hard day, I deserve a little treat. This should be easier. This is my time and I deserve a treat. It's usually during times that you've worked really hard and you deserve a little bit of downtime, and you're like, dang it, I just want a big bowl of popcorn and watch a movie and cuddle up and I deserve it, Plus, we also tell ourselves how hard losing weight is, and, just convince ourselves that we can't do it in some kind of way, or that we ate healthy for the last week or 3 days or 2 days or whatever, and we deserve a few treats on the weekend, or why should I have to follow boundaries and rules? I'm not losing any weight anyway, so why bother with it all? If I'm being kind of good, why aren't I losing weight? All those things, little things that we tell ourselves that take us out of our boundaries, which we already talked about boundaries in the very first episode of this. So go back to that if you want to take a look at that. And how we're going to take some steps to stop this entitlement eating. So get a pen and paper if this helps you out. All right, so when you come from a place number one, when you recognize that we have a lot of wants as human beings, and more than one of them, if you can come a little bit more from a place of gratitude in your wants, so that you can get you're wanting to, I want what I want, or even shift your want, instead of it being food or alcohol or whatever you're wanting. Try to reach down deeper inside and see, we get this a lot with emotional eating, see if there's anything else that you can gravitate towards that can kind of kibosh the urge, because we're very impulsive as human beings. So maybe if you have like an urge journal where it's like when you're angry about not being able to get something, just get those feelings out, okay? And just like, by the time you wrote it all down, by the time maybe if you go for a little walk around the block and then see if that urge is still there, or maybe instead of the food that you want, you really, want a hug, or you want some recognition, or you want some love, or you want some laughter. Think of another want other than food that can kind of gear you a little away from running to the fridge. Just stop, look and listen to your own self and see what's happening inside yourself, and see if you can't stop that urge or that want or that impulsivity. Another thing that you can do is you can just quickly do a look at the benefits and consequences of what you're about to do. So sometimes with our impulsivity, we don't stop and think, oh man, that's gonna make me feel like crap after, or I'm gonna have that way down guilt feeling, and I'm just gonna hate myself. And then whenever that happened to me, you just wanna like keep going with it. You've already blown it. Just keep going with it. So if you can, write down the benefits and consequences of what you're about to do, and see if you can't do a little bit of self-talk to convince yourself to cut it out. Stop that behavior. All right, next. There's a dog outside whining, so if you hear that, sorry. Also, look at this from a little bit more of a spiritual perspective. I know I talk this a lot, but honestly, if you can come from a place of, I'm sacrificing my urge in order to satisfy the need to be healthy, and what that's going to do is it's going to rise up my entire life. If I can just say no to my own self, you can kind of get a little bit of a thrill on the no. I know that sounds kind of bizarre, but I did. And when you look at people around you and they are not resisting their urges, it gives you a sense of empowerment in some kind of way. And I'm not saying say no to food in general. I'm saying no to food, the urges. And once you can say no, you're like, nah, I'm strong. You can start to do a lot of positive self-talk to yourself and how much strength you have in holding back the urge. And we're going to get into like willpower and stuff like that soon. But this is kind of like the preamble to it. So shifting that sense of I deserve this to I deserve health, then you might be able to shift that thinking a bit. Hopefully all the way. Let's just see what happens if you experiment with the word no to yourself and to others and see how it makes you feel. Just like watch the feeling you get when you say no and you're real strong in it. Kind of feels good. So take that entitlement, entitle yourself to no's. That's what I suggest. You also need to recognize that either way you slice it, if you go ahead and do what you're going to do impulsively, you have to sacrifice somewhere. So you're either sacrificing your health, or you're sacrificing your self-esteem, or you're sacrificing just that moment in time where you want what you want when you want it. So there's a sacrifice either way. Which sacrifice do you choose? And I can guarantee you, from coming from a place of getting rid of the 125 pounds, well worth the millions of times I sacrificed wanting something and not having it. So the sense of entitlement to a better life is where you should start to train your brain to go. So you deserve the best life. And that's your sense of entitlement, instead of entitling yourself to that item or that food item or whatever you want to grab for. Try to take out words like it isn't fair out of your vocabulary. Anything that sounds like an entitling word to you, try to ditch those and replace it with I'm so grateful that I have a choice to better myself. I'm so grateful that I have food to even choose from, and I'm so grateful that I put things in place to make myself healthier in the fridge. Just try to replace that "it isn't fair," because it's super immature, for one thing. And life sets us up with lessons all the time. And when you see other people and it looks like they've got it all, they've got a skinny body, they can eat whatever they want, or they're rich and they can do whatever they want, remember that everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own challenges. You don't know their life. They could have health problems you don't have. Remember, come from a place of gratitude, and every time you say no to something and you had the power to do it, throw a little gratitude on the end of that. Say, thank you for giving me the strength to say no to that thing that would have really made me feel bad about myself. Thank you. And the more you have that gratitude, the more empowered you're going to be, and the less alone you'll feel in your challenges in general. Instead of being a drop the mic moment, that was a drop the earring moment. So a couple more little things. So work on letting go entitlement in other areas of your life. So we live, I believe, in a culture of entitlement. And we get tempted with it all the time. It's not all our fault, because we see it everywhere. You look on Instagram and it looks like people are living this great life. They're traveling, they're doing all these things. Try to let go of it in the area of food. It is super hard, I know, but try to believe that letting go of entitlement is going to raise your life up. If you let it go, something magical happens. It's like a law of attraction of the universe, where you come from a place of gratitude, that all of a sudden you get thrown things that you just never expected. But whatever higher powers we have, they don't like entitlement. I notice that whenever I start to think like that, bad things start to happen to me. So I just really, really, really always, I'll give you an example. I was walking yesterday and my feet were, I get plantar fasciitis sometimes, and my feet were starting to hurt in the plantar fasciitis area. And I was like, darn it, why can't I just do what I want to do and do my walk the way I want to do it and all that jazz? And then I stopped myself and I thought, no. Sometimes rejection is actually to save you from something. So I stopped myself from doing the extra walk I was going to do. I realigned my thinking, and I was grateful for letting me walk what I did. And then I readjusted my workout to do something different. And as soon as I did that different thing, it improved my workout. It improved my health. So sometimes rejection is actually God's way of improving your life. So when you have something that you can't do or can't have, be grateful for that, because that is often a redirection. And it's sometimes, when you're like angry at the traffic, blah, 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 and then you hear later that there was an accident right where you could have been involved in that accident, and you're sitting there angry because, darn it, why is this happening to me? Meanwhile, it could be saving your life, that kind of idea. Remember that when you have that sense of entitlement, that you deserve to be in the front of the line, or you deserve this, or you deserve that. The reason you might not be getting it could be for a great reason to help you along your path. So always try to switch that little thought off. Finally, try to remember that these boundaries are a good thing. They might, not help your impulsive thinking, but in the long run, a good thing. Because there's been times, I like to have the odd glass of wine, but I'm on this journey right now where I'm being real strict with myself. I'm not doing anything outside my parameters that I've allowed myself to do. And yeah, that temporary evening where I'm like, oh golly, I'd really love to unwind with a glass of wine or whatever. And then I'm so grateful that I stuck to my guns, because I wake up and my mind is clear and I feel refreshed, and I don't have to deal with the inflammation that I've just caused. That'll take 2-3 days to work off. So remember that boundaries are super empowering, super empowering. Just put your teeth right into them. They're awesome. The boundaries are awesome. And see if that can help you along your journey to success in this whole adventure of the ultimate transformation plan. So I hope that one was a little bit lighter and a little bit more fun, and try to laugh at yourself. You guys, we all do it. We all do it. And I gave you a crazy look today. I know. Sometimes I do that, so just go with that. And yesterday I was talking about my grandpa, so I wore the necklace that he gave me today just to thank him. And so have a blessed day. Get some sunshine, it's coming out, and write down some boundaries that you're going to stick to, and some self-empowering things that will take you away from thinking that you are entitled to whatever you want. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Probably be tomorrow. Bye for now.